You're one decision away from a new life. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day, but drastically underestimate what they can do in 6 months. 6 months, 180 days. It doesn't sound revolutionary, but it's long enough to rewire habits, reorient your values, rebuild a fractured sense of self, and short enough to hold your attention without slipping into procrastination. We plan vacations better than we plan our lives. Hours are spent comparing hotels, checking flight options, organizing itineraries. But ask someone to plan their future with that same level of care and urgency, and often silence. That ends today. Because in this video, we're not just going to dream. We're going to design a practical, soul-driven, deeply personal 6-month roadmap that anyone, including you, can begin right now. One that doesn't require perfection, only presence. So stay with me until the end. Because by then, you won't just have motivation, you'll have a direction. 1. Clarity is power. Clarity is the quiet force behind every life that feels intentional. Yet many people spend years, sometimes decades, chasing things they never truly paused to define. When you're unclear, life becomes reactive. You're pulled instead of guided, busy, but misaligned. True clarity doesn't come from scrolling endlessly or waiting for a perfect sign. It comes from turning inward and asking questions that feel uncomfortable. What do I actually want? What am I no longer willing to tolerate? And who would I be if I stopped editing my desires for other people's approval? Sharp goals produce sharp results. Fuzzy desires leave you drifting. So tonight, write it out. Not vague affirmations, but specifics. I want to earn X. I want to lose Y pounds. I want to read Z books. Clarity isn't a one-time act. It's a compass you'll keep checking as you grow. And growth, real growth, begins the moment you stop running from your truth. 2. Philosophy shapes reality. Every day, life hands us events, wins, setbacks, delays, surprises. What shapes your future is not what happens, it's what you do with what happens. That's philosophy. The same wind blows on all of us, but it's the set of your sail, your thinking, your framing, your beliefs, that determines where you go. Do you see challenge as a signal to give up or to grow? Do you see feedback as rejection or redirection? Successful people often share one unspoken skill. They recover quickly. They learn forward. They process pain not as punishment, but as information. Your personal philosophy is either lifting you or limiting you. So over the next 6 months, refine it. Audit the way you interpret events. And above all, don't wait for the world to change your circumstances. Change how you relate to them. Through the power of association, you become like the people you're around most, not just in speech or mannerisms, but in vision, habits, expectations. If your circle normalizes mediocrity, that becomes your ceiling. If they dream big, execute consistently, speak truth, and live with integrity, you're naturally pulled upward. Some people need to be loved from a distance, not out of cruelty, but out of wisdom, because your energy is not infinite, and your environment is shaping you even when you're not paying attention. So in the next 6 months, get intentional. Find people who live the values you aspire to. Read their books, watch their interviews. If possible, talk with them directly. But even proximity to greatness, virtual or real, begins to upgrade your standard. 4. Document everything. Most people live life forward, but understand it only in hindsight, unless they track it. Journaling isn't about poetry. It's about pattern recognition. When you start documenting your daily habits, thoughts, progress, and detours, something profound happens. You start to see clearly. You see what triggers your procrastination. You see when your energy spikes. You see how small, subtle decisions lead to big breakthroughs or breakdowns. Start simple. Write down 3 things. What you did, what you felt, what you learned. Do this daily, even if messy, because the paper doesn't judge you. It simply reflects you. And over time, that reflection becomes your greatest guide. 5. Invest in yourself. We live in a world where people spend hundreds on shoes, phones, dinners, but hesitate to spend $30 on a book that could change their mindset. Formal education can make you a living, But self-education, that can make you a fortune, financial or otherwise. Ask yourself, in the past year, how much have I invested in my mind, in my skills, in learning from those who are living the life I say I want? 6 months is enough time to complete 5 courses, read 7 books, attend 3 workshops, or join a mastermind. You don't need all the answers now. You just need to seek them, and the people who seek, find. 6. The miracle of incrementalism. Big change rarely comes in big moments. It's usually the result of thousands of tiny shifts, made consistently. If you improve just 1% each day, in 6 months you'd be over 180% better. Not because of some magic, but because of compounding. It's not sexy, but it works. The key: don't chase dramatic change. Chase better decisions daily. 1 more rep, 1 less excuse, 1 hour less of scrolling, 1 hour more of focused creation. Stack those days, protect the streak, and watch how the extraordinary begins to feel inevitable. 7. Stretch your goals. Most people don't fail because they aim too high and miss. They fail because they aim too low and hit. Set goals that scare you a little, not because fear is the target, but because fear is often a signpost that you're finally stepping outside your comfort zone. But here's the nuance. Break those big, bold goals into tiny daily actions. A mountain is climbed 1 step at a time. If you want to write a book, start with a paragraph a day. If you want to double your income, begin by tracking every dollar. Ambition without structure is anxiety, but with structure, it becomes execution. 8. Design your environment. Your environment is the invisible hand guiding your behavior. Willpower is overrated. Context is king. A cluttered desk makes your mind feel chaotic. A disorganized home drains energy. But a space designed to reflect your vision, that space pulls you forward. So look around. What do you see? Is your space helping you rise, or silently reinforcing who you used to be? Clean your space. Light a candle. Create a corner for focus. Build an environment where your future self feels welcome. Then return to it daily, and let it speak to your potential. 9. Raise your standards. You don't get what you want. You get what you accept. Your life will always rise or fall to meet your standards. And the most powerful shift you can make is to quietly raise what you're no longer willing to tolerate. In your health, your finances, your relationships, your time. It's not about being hard on yourself. It's about being real with yourself. The person you want to become, they already live by a higher standard. The fastest way to meet them is to start living by those standards now. 10. Anchor new rituals. You are your rituals, not the ones you do once in a while, the ones you do without thinking. Wake up an hour early. That's 180 extra hours in 6 months. That's 4 full work weeks. Imagine what you could create. Build rituals around movement, reading, silence, gratitude, focus. Protect them, water them, and watch how your entire identity begins to evolve, not because you forced it, but because your days now tell a different story. 11. The power of accountability. Transformation thrives in solitude, but it's sustained in community. Find someone, a friend, a coach, a group, who will hold your goals in their hands and ask, kindly, are you keeping your promise? When someone else sees your journey, you stop lying to yourself. You rise, not for praise but for integrity. Accountability isn't pressure, it's partnership, and it might be the one thing keeping you honest on the days you feel like giving up. 12. Recover, quickly, not perfectly. Perfection is an illusion. Setbacks are inevitable, but recovery, that's a choice. The people who grow fastest are not the ones who never fall. They're the ones who get up faster each. Shorten the time between mistake and momentum. Missed a workout? Don't miss 2. Overspent 1 weekend? Rebalance the next day. The comeback is always stronger when shame is replaced by grace. 13. Focus is your superpower. In the age of noise, attention is currency. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. Protect it. Don't major in minor things. Say no more off. Turn off the notifications. Sit with one task, one thought, one goal, and honor it with your full presence. Focus isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters better, deeper, longer. 42. Multiplies progress. Progress without gratitude feels like emptiness. like chasing a horizon that keeps moving. Gratitude grounds you. It reminds you that even now, in the middle of becoming, there is beauty, value, and worth. Keep a gratitude journal. Note 3 things each day. Train your mind to see enough, even while pursuing more, because what you appreciate, appreciates. 15. The power of decision. At some point, reflection must become action. You don't need more time. You need to decide that this is the day, that these next 6 months won't drift by like the last. Decision is power. It turns someday into right now. So ask yourself, what will I choose today that my future self will thank me for tomorrow? 6 months from now, time will have passed. The only question is, who will you be? Not hypothetically, actually, because you are always one decision away from a new story, and today could be your first page. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Take this and make it yours. The future belongs to those who prepare for it now, and now is where your next chapter begins.